Hey everybody, how are you doing on this beautiful Friday night here in Puerto Rico? It's time for the Hibernation Podcast, the weekly podcast that we go over some of the biggest things in the hibernation. And to start off the agenda, I'm going to be talking about what I've been up to. I'm going to have one book review, and I'm going to have one guest post that went up this week. One of our good friends of the Hibernation decided that he wanted to do a post with us, and and I read the post and it was pretty good. For horror writers, this may be an interesting one for you. As you may well know, I've gotten a head start on the Friday Night Shenanigans. I promise not to do that anymore. I'm gonna try to get on with the show here. And the book review we're gonna have today is The Street by Michael Prescott, a New York Times best-selling author, and a review that and an author that Elaine Emmerich, my official reviewer, has reviewed already. So this is gonna be another book of his. So let's get started. So what I've been up to is, if you've been following me, which I know some of you have been following me, and on my Facebook page, Thousand Years War book, and all that, as you may well know, the Thousand Years War series is on sale for $2.97. It's 99 cents per book. You can get all three of my books for less than $3. And the reason for that is because the Thousand Years War, the first book, has gotten a pretty good makeover. Because I decided to change the cover, and I gotta tell you, a lot of people have really loved it. My sales I've done really good on sales, and in case you haven't noticed, the Thousand Years War book has reached that magical milestone of 50 customer reviews with an average of 4.4 out of 5 stars. And I'm cleaning it up a little bit on the inside because I had a couple of people tell me I could have improved it a little bit, and the cover needed to be improved. So that's what I've been working on. And the new cover is gonna be on paperback sometime next week. That takes a little longer to be approved by Create Space and all that. So soon you'll be able to get a nicer looking Thousand Years War book one. And I'm planning to do the next 2 books in the Thousand Years War series with new covers. So that's gonna be some fun. So without further ado, let's get on to the rest of the show. And Angel's Nightmare Adventure number 2 is out now. My newest horror book. So if you're a fan of my horror series, you can get part 2, the sequel. Right now it's for $1.99 on Amazon, and I'm planning to do a 99 cent sale next week. So that book will be 99 cents next Friday. So for next weekend you'll be able to get it for 99 cents. So that should be sweet for you guys. And really, sales have really gone well for me. I've been blessed, and it's been. I gotta admit, I'm very happy with the cover. I'm very happy. It's a laser gun, and this part. I mean, I know I'm middle, so you may not. This side, my left hand side, it's digitalized, so it gives you that nice fit. It gets you the idea as a video game virtual reality read. It gets you more of a feel for what the book is really about. So I really have fun, getting that together, and people have really loved me, and I've become good friends with people. I have some couple of good Facebook groups. The Sci-Fi Roundtable. If you're a science fiction fan, I recommend you hook up with them. They're really nice people. And the Science Fiction, Science Fantasy Society, they're awesome people. I've become a pretty good member there, as people have recognized me and give a place to my work. So, and the Knit RGP Society and Knit RPG Reads, which I'm working on Knit RPG books. So I'm gonna be hopefully getting more involved with that group as I get an actual Knit RPG in the works. And Net RPG Rebels, another group on Facebook you should follow as well as an upcoming group. Not too many members right now, but that's gonna change, I'm sure. I know the moderator, awesome man, very cool man from Australia. If you're into Net RPG or science fiction books, you really should get into these groups, and maybe it'll help your sales a little bit too. As long as you are willing to spend some time in the discussions and you're not just trying to promote your book, non-stop, blasting. You should, get involved with the conversations and, just have it, show your fun side. Now, so let's get on with the book review. Book review is Michael Prescott, and he's the author of The Street, and this review is by Elaine Emmerich. Thank you, Elaine. You've done very well. Too bad we only got one review this week, but that's better than nothing, so no worries. Last week I had about 3 book reviews, so I'm gonna be a little short, but that's okay. As long as these are genuine reviews, so Elaine, keep it up. Keep giving me genuine reviews, and hopefully you'll have one for next week's podcast. So, what's The Street about by Michael Prescott? It's obviously going to be So let's read the blurb. It says, "This is the story of 3 summer days on the street where I grew up. 3 days that I lived twice." Interesting start there. Imagine that you turn the corner and you find yourself instantly, inexplicably transported in space and time to the world of your childhood more than 4 decades ago. George McGovern is running for president. Miniskirts and bell-bottom jeans are in fashion. A can of tuna fish costs 49 cents. Oh, yeah, try 75 to $1 now. So, yeah, I wish I could go back to those times, Michael. And but then the catch is, there's no way out. You must be there for a reason, and you begin to suspect what it is. If you're right, it will require you to take a man's life in the act of cold-blooded, premeditated murder. But that's okay, because you murdered before. I can already tell why you ain't got into this book, and why I'll make it a copy and read it, because I like the blurb. It's like a first person, kind of risky to go first person on a blurb, but I like how Michael does the first person thing there, like he's the narrator and he's telling you the story instead of a third person view like everybody else does and what I do. So I think I need to try a first person view one of these days. But anyway, so Elaine, she gave her characters, first characters 5 out of 5 stars. The main character is not mean, so that adds some mystery. That makes you use your imagination on what the guy could be. All we know is he's 54 years old, lives in New Jersey, and has been in trouble with the North for most of his life. So he's a criminal. He's a career criminal. He's 54 years old, and that's really about it. Unmade man. Should be interesting. Elaine, now in the second category, the plot, she gave it 5 out of 5 stars. As the story begins, the unmade man is running away from police on a cold October evening in 2016. So this took place about close to last year. After hitting a woman in the bar, he turns the corner to get away from the police. His life changes as he finds himself on Miller Avenue 44 years ago on his childhood street where he grew up. He can't believe the cars he sees from that time. No satellite dishes, no recycling. He finds a local newspaper and it's dated July 12, 1972. Wouldn't that be something if you went back to the 70s or went back to your childhood for no apparent reason, and he realizes there's some sort of force field around Miller Avenue and he can't go back to his current time. So this is like a thriller / science fiction kind of thing. Kind of interesting if you ask, personally. Writing structure, obviously, perfect. It's storyline flows well according to Elaine. By the way, I haven't read the book, so this is all based on Elaine, my official review. So this is all based on her findings. The ending, she gave it a 5 out of 5. The ending is absolutely thrilling according to her. He sees his younger self and wonders what happened to him to make his adult self the way he is. He's full of rage and doesn't know where he's coming from. He meets people he remembers as a child, even his babysitter Niz. Someone's robbing homes in the neighborhood and he decides to kill the man, thinking once he does that the force will met him back to 2016. And without giving too much away, the police are after him in 1972 and as he runs back in 2016. still raging, still screaming. So I think I could predict that he doesn't really get much. He's stuck in the same loop forever and ever, like an infinite time loop. Overall, this book is a perfect 5 out of 5 on a hibernation review scale. This is a story of a man trying to change the course of his life as he goes back to his childhood. Now the question is, was he trying to redeem himself? To protect his younger self? All we know is Michael Prescott, you have written a book that is totally unique from his other books according to your name, but in an excellent way. So, and I think it's a very unique book too, so very strange premise, but well executed. So that's the book review. Now if you're wondering what the guest post is, I have a friend whose the author is Richard Crew. Richard Crew, yes. So he was nice enough, to read my horror book and give it a good rating. So thank you, Richard. And he was also nice. And in case, let me give you a little background about Richard. He's a horror writer. He's just strictly horror. So if you're aspiring horror writer, if you're into horror books, into horror movies, Richard is the man to talk to. He's all about horror. He knows more about horror than I do. And he took the time to write a post, about 3 books that he believes you should read if you want to know how to write horror. And he goes and says, horror can be a difficult egg to crack, and it is, because horror, you could easily overdo it, making it too unique, or underdo it, and you could end up just being a copycat of other horror greats. And you may not be unique enough, or you may be too unique, so you gotta fall in the middle, which is really hard in horror. So he's given us a list of 3 books that if you read that it will improve your skills as a writer, as a horror writer. And the first book is The Hellbound Heart by Clive Barker, a classic writer from the 60s and 70s, classic horror writer. And he goes on to say this is a good book to learn about great, courageous content. He covers topics of such disgust. It's a very disgusting book to read, but if you're looking to be a really good horror writer, you have to really be good with the disgust level. He does it so well with tactfully and goriness of the scenes that it doesn't turn readers away. Because in fact, for a really good horror book, you actually have to have the graphic nature. Like Resident Evil, or at least if you're a Resident Evil fan in the gaming side of things, not so much in the movies. The movies have been pretty disappointing. I'm more of a gamer when it comes to RE, so stick to the games. Next book we have is from, of course, one of our favorite horror writers, Stephen King, called Nightmares and Dreamscapes. This connection by Stephen King, where King is at his strongest, with short story connections, from the darkest places. Each story is well rounded and fleshed out. The stories don't drag out and bore you to death. They provide enough information to horrify you because of the circumstance, but it makes your imagination run wild. It makes you use your imagination to see what happens. And what King does best is people. His wild imagination tears on weird fiction at times. I've read a couple of books by Stephen King. Not a big Stephen King fan, but definitely Stephen King is a well-respected author in the horror genre, and I can see why he has done as well as he has done, being the top of the world when it comes to horror. And finally, Richard has the third book, which is suggests is The Haunting of Hill House by Shirley Jackson, which is published by Penguin. This is actually a Penguin classic, so check it out on Amazon. By the way, all these books are on Amazon, so if you want a good weekend read in horror, or you're looking for some inspiration, these books are good to get. And I'll put the link in the description of the YouTube so you can check it out and read it for yourself, in case you're not following. So, written by Shirley Jackson, this book is a great look at tension building in a story. This is a book that builds tension. This is a story that makes the reader ask questions and questions their assumptions. It's engaging. if you could get your readers guessing what's going to happen, make them predict what's going to happen while maintaining a cohesive storyline, you're going to have a good book that people are going to like and talk about, which is what your mission should be. So those are 3 books. So let's go over them again. We got The Hellbound Heart by Cliven Barker. We got Stephen King with Nightmares and Dreamscapes. And finally, we got Shirley Jackson with The Haunting of Hill House. And if you want to, and of course in the actual post itself, you could find out more about my friend Richard Crew. He's a horror writer and author, and you can find out more about him on his blog. Go to richardcrew.wordpress.com. That's Richard Crew. That's Richard, and his last name is KLU.wordpress.com. You could check him out and read his horror, blog posts. He's an expert in horror, and I kind of admire that in a person. He's really got his niche down packed, and I wish him the best of luck on. Hopefully he could take it to the next level. So we're running on 15, close to 16 minutes, and I think that's going to do it for this podcast. A little bit shorter podcast, but obviously for the weekend, I think I'm planning to go to Ponce tomorrow. Go to Home Depot, hang out in Ponce for the day, and I hope you guys enjoy your weekend. I hope you guys have something fun to do for the weekend. Or if not, go read a book. Read The 1,000 Years War by me. Read the books that I just gave you by Richard Crew. Recommended. Read my books. So you just go find something to read if you're gonna be stuck in the rainy pattern or you just got nothing to do. So this is Angel Medina telling you have a good weekend and be easy, guys. Enjoy.